Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Josh here, Oreo Express. I hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Woo! It's warming up, guys. It's warming up here in Central California. We're feeling it. I love it. You guys know I don't care if it's cold, if it's hot. It's all good. We got some new Trump executive orders we're going to talk about. Also, Rep. Jasmine Crockett, we're going to go into those details again. The journalist has filed a police report with, I believe, the Capitol Police. And also, she is in another scandal. I didn't bring it up on the last one, but I'm going to bring it up because, again, she's just an absolute Democrat. What does that mean? All she does is lie. And we're going to talk about that. If you guys could hit that thumbs up button, we would appreciate it. I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. And again, we got some goodies to talk about. Even Fani Willis, remember how she lied, said she was no longer seeing Nathan Wade, that they had cut that off. And then a couple months ago, her daughter got pulled over. And I think the car was getting impounded or she was going to jail for something. And guess who showed up with her mom? Nathan Wade. And now they're caught, I guess, spring breaking. They were caught at LAX together. Imagine that. And I think it was just less than a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, she was ordered to pay a fine for hiding information that she should have had there. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all very much. Let's see if this is loading. Mikey Ray's in the house. Pixie, Hunter, Trina, Microtaz, and Cade, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please share this out. Let folks know where we're at. And hit that like button if you just got in here. Forward 77, how are you doing? So let's get into it. Again, this is show two. We did one earlier. Is this it? I don't know where this one came from. Let's see. Oh, no, here it is. So as we were just talking about Fani Willis, it says Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, who claim they split up in 2023, were seen together at LAX. Their outing raises doubts about their claim that their relationship ended 2 years ago. You know what, guys? I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish I was in an airport where Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. I'm getting in their face and I'm grilling them. Take a look at these photos here. She just looks miserable no matter what. I don't think she can be happy, even with all those bags. Oh, look at him holding the bags. What were they flying to? Again, time. Hopefully accountability's done for that. I just noticed a post underneath said, just in, Columbus City Schools in Ohio sent a letter to families informing them that the names and genders of students in their systems are being changed to reflect the students' legal names and sex to align their policies with Ohio state law and Trump's executive order. Check that out. Oh, let's see. It was this one here. I hope you guys didn't miss that whole thing. Let's see. Can't see it. Let me go back to it. I didn't even notice it was like that. Let's see. Here we go. Oh. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. I had closed it out. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Okay, let's pull this up. Sorry about that. There we go. Just mobbing. So, interesting again. Hopefully, there's some justice eventually. Check this out. Now, we've played this before, but I think it's time because we're going to talk about an executive order here in a little while that Trump passed. And we've watched this before. And again, the white racist liberals who just thinks that, blacks aren't capable of a whole lot, just like Democrats
for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far to say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs.
Where do black
over
people
the internet.
live? Like that guy, I want to know, where does he think? Where do we do? Does that guy think that Elon Musk has already sent the black people to Mars? Is that like, well, they don't live in areas accessible to DMV? What the hell? It's insane.
That also would make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the.
I didn't know Florida was a swing state.
Of the African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Yeah, everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, an ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
It was a legit ID.
Oh, man, I just love it because, again, the Democrats, when they come out and they say conservatives are racist because they want people to show ID when they vote. Again, the only people that requiring an ID would prevent to vote are people that shouldn't be voting in our elections. I thought this was interesting, shared by Robbie Starbuck. Anheuser-Busch has ended their 30-year streak of sponsoring St. Louis Pride Fest. It was from 5 on your side right here, and it says Anheuser-Busch declines to sponsor St. Louis Pride Fest after over 30 years. Organizers scrambling for funds. Man, I don't know what to tell you, folks. You got to figure something out. What else do we got here? Oh, it's always the ones that look like this. Let me just show you really quick. You think she's a conservative? Nah, well, you know better than that. This is from Libs of TikTok. New York State Rep. Allison Dell has introduced 2 bills. One to repeal laws that protect minors from gender mutilation surgeries, and another to repeal the North Carolina's Parental Bill of Rights. They don't hide it, folks. Again, parents have every say-so in their child's life. I know the government wants to be the daddy. For those that the government doesn't kill with their pro-abortion stance. But it's just amazing that these Democrats feel like they're losing control of your children. They can't make decisions for your children to cut off their penis. You know, your 12-year-old Johnny. Well, that's what these Bill of Rights are. Take a look at this. This is one of the bills here. House Bill DRH 10240-NB-65, Gender Affirming Rights Act, an act to repeal the prohibition of gender transition procedures on minors act and the expenditure of state funds on those procedures. Not only do they want it to happen, they want you, the taxpayer, to pay for it. Imagine that. You can't get more crazy than that. I don't get it. I don't get it. How about this one? House Bill DRH 10213 NG-57. Same representative. An act to repeal Session Law 2023-106 and to make conforming changes. This is, again, want to repeal Parental Rights Act, Parental Bill of Rights. And we've seen these bills go in multiple areas, multiple states, multiple places. So it's interesting that, you know, what the hell is wrong? I just show you one more time, guys. Almost like when I look at that at first, it almost has a Chucky appearance. Remember Chucky if you're my age, you watched Chucky as a kid, it might have scared the daylights out of you. But Chucky, there's something Chucky-esque about this woman. I wonder if every day she has different color hair or just always pink and she happened to match her earrings with her scarf or her collar, whatever she wants to call that, and her shirt. That is where we are in America right now. Let's see what else we got today. Florida. Can't make this stuff up. Let me kick this up. It's lagging a little bit. I apologize again. I think the summer is going to be really bad on this computer. Hopefully we can make it through the summer. Let's see. Once it opens. And that intersection
or starvation.
So,
pointless. I can't lie. What is someone's pronouns affecting you? No one's forced. What? Pointless.
Okay, so let me try this again. Members of the public are outraged over a bill that would restrict pronouns in the workplace. Now, how bad could it be? Do you think death, murder? Maybe. Let's listen to some of these people. This is insane. I might have to refresh it once it starts.
I can't lie. What is someone's pronouns affecting you? No one's forcing you to use them.
This bill does nothing to improve lives for Floridians in any way. It merely opens an opportunity for a small percentage of our population to be targeted, to be kept from job opportunities, to be kept from dignity.
With the sex application checkbox, let me tell you, as an intersex person, that an intersex option would have to be added because there is more than just female and male.
This bill continues your goal, as stated last year by Madam Chair, to eradicate the trans community. My name is Mandy. My pronouns are they, them.
This is setting up people to be killed, which is honestly the entire point, because what doesn't matter how we die, be it murder, suicide, or starvation.
Setting up people to be murdered all over pronouns, people. I mean, you know what? This group was winning for so long. And when I say winning, that means America was losing. Your children were losing, your grandchildren were losing, you were losing, because once again, we take normalcy out of everything. These people are not normal. Guess what? I said it, folks. They are not normal. They need some severe mental help. Just look at them. That's all you got to do. And find out that these people are a little bit of a whack job. And again, if you're in here watching, make sure you hit that thumbs up and share this out. I would appreciate it, guys. So I seen Gavin Newsom posted something. He put, during a multi-day retail theft operation in San Diego, CHP border, so it's a California Highway Patrol that works the border area, assisted in 80 arrests and the recovery of 391 stolen items. We're enhancing collaboration between law enforcement and retail partners to improve in-store security, reporting, and safety for shoppers. Interesting. Just a couple weeks after he had Charlie Kirk and he admitted some wrongs. Oh, that's right. 2028 is coming, folks. Let me show you the post from California Highway Patrol Border Division right here. It says from March 17th through the 21st, the California Highway Patrol, in partnership with local retailers, carried out a successful operation at Las Americas premium outlets to combat retail theft. 80 arrests were made, including 13 felony arrests. Let's take some pictures. Oh, you got some Nikes in there. Again, just trying to feed the kids, as AOC would say. They like Nike. Look at those Jordans in the background. You know what? Jordans are a good source of calories if you're trying to feed the kids. They're high in protein, low in sodium, and also mid-range on the calories. So AOC was right again. What else? Oh, there we go. More Nikes. Man, Nike. They like Nikes. That's just insane, guys. Now, if he was really concerned, again, this is a photo op. This is for him to just put something on the internet. How about we see California Highway Patrol arresting hundreds at a sideshow that is literally killing business, where they go loot afterwards, where it's just complete chaos through the streets. People don't feel safe in the neighborhoods. People don't want to go into these gas stations to get gas, buy a soda, anything, because at any minute, some hood folks, we're going to be talking about a hood folk in a minute, Jasmine Crockett, some hood folks could walk up in there, beat people up, steal their money. It's the California way of life, right? And that is Gavin Newsom's California. Check this out. Earlier, they had a Senate hearing. They were grilling, and again, we haven't focused a whole lot of time on it because it's just a talking point for Democrats right now. But in this hearing, they were grilling Kash Patel, Tulsi, CIA, Ratcliffe about the text messages through Signal while they were planning an attack, and somehow a far leftist reporter was included in there. But also in other things, they were trying to get some more information out. Alex Jones shared this. Take a look at this. Take a look at, while the FBI director, pro-Hamas individuals were disrupting. Listen to this. On. Let me refresh it.
Full security is witness will suspend.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vice Chairman.
Full security is witness will suspend. The greatest threat to full security is Israel, and the whole world knows it. Stop funding Israel. Stop funding Israel. Stop funding Israel. Stop funding Israel.
So that protester was a code pink lunatic saying the greatest threat to world
sounds like
peace
an American patriot
is funding Israel. I will observe, for the benefit of the audience here on television, that Code Pink is funded by communist China as well, which simply illustrates, speak up now if you want to be removed as well, whoever's saying that. If anyone else would like to join them, speak now, please, so we don't have any more disruptions. Back to my question. Could you give us some color?
Good old Code Pink, communist Code Pink. These people, why they always got to be white, man? These white liberals, I got to get really tan this summer because you know what? Being white, man, it just isn't cool. Most of the retards, most of the people that are literally actively working against this country are white liberals. They are, and I've always said that the biggest problem with this country and the destruction of this country are white liberals. And we see it on display all the time. This was interesting too. I was listening to this when it went live, and they a Democrat senator is so triggered because when they did their assessment, Tulsi Gabbard did her assessment about the greatest threats to the United States, climate change wasn't in there. And this guy just went off. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Obviously,
I mean, I don't know how many of you, whether you live in LA, Louisiana, New York, Texas, I don't know how many of y'all wake up each day and think, man, I hope I don't get murdered by climate change today. Nobody. It's, again, an activist revolution, a communist revolution that has taken over, and we are done with it under the Trump administration. And this poor guy, just take a look here.
I want to move on. One note that surprised me, I've been on this committee now this is my 13th year. Every single one of these reports that we have had has mentioned global climate change as a significant national security threat, except this one. Has something happened? Has global climate change been solved? Why is that not in this report? And who made the decision that it should not be in the report when it's been in every one of the 11 prior reports?
I can't speak to the decisions made previously, but this annual threat assessment has been focused very directly on the threats that we deem most critical to the United States and our national security. Obviously, we're aware of occurrences within the environment and how they may impact operations, but we're focused on the direct threats to Americans' safety, well-being, and security.
How about how they will impact mass migration, famine, dislocation, political violence, which is the finding, by the way, of the 2019 annual threat assessment under the first Trump administration? You don't consider that a significant national security threat?
For the intelligence community, being aware of the environment that we're operating in is a given. What I focused this annual threat assessment on, and the IC focused this threat assessment on, are the most extreme and critical direct threats to our national security.
Let me ask a direct question. Who decided climate change should be left out of this report after it's been in the prior 11? Where was that decision
I
made?
gave direction to our team at ODNI to focus on the most extreme and critical national security threats that we face.
Your direction include no comments on climate change?
Senator, as I said, I focused on the most extreme and direct national security threats.
That's not a response to my question.
That we face.
Did you instruct that there be no finding in terms of climate change in this report?
I don't recall giving that instruction.
Final questions in a few short seconds that I have left. You all concede, and it's in the report repeatedly, about the cyber danger.
This man's like, listen, we want money. We want billions of dollars, trillions. I think Cory Bush just came out and said we need to spend $10 trillion on climate change. Listen, guys, I said it's warm. It's warm here in California. It's spring. Michael, thank you so much for the Venmo. Thank you, Michael. I got that notification 20 minutes ago. We can't do it without your support, guys. We might have a little fun this weekend. I think you'll like it. So if you guys want to help out, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And as always, if you prefer Zelle, head over to Zelle. It's on our website, theoreoexpress.com. You scroll down a little and there's a donate now. Everything is thanks to you, the viewers. Your donations is what keeps us on the air, keeps us doing what we got to do. Now, I was going to look at the weather. Thank you again, Michael. Weather. It's 85 degrees right now, and it is 3:26. It's supposed to hit 86 degrees. And you know what's crazy? Next Tuesday, a week from today, it'll be 25 degrees lower in temperature. It'll be 61 for the high. 61. So at 85 today, 81. And when you look at all reports from the professionals, and when I say professionals, people that aren't getting grants, so these NGOs, these US aid NGOs, these people that we were funding with your tax dollars, were only funded to come up with certain answers. Oh, is climate change affecting the purple spotted frog? Well, yeah, it is. It's got to be. Well, how is it affect? Well, because the temperature is cooling. No, it's not. Oh, the temperature is rising. No. Well, it goes up and down. Yeah, it's called weather. It's called weather. And these people are funded. They're activists. That's how they make a living, is off tax dollars through grants and other programs. And they want to keep up that gravy train. California loves it. California has spent trillions of dollars. The United States has spent trillions of dollars. And in the end, they say it's going to improve climate change. But they say, not me, they say it's getting worse. So maybe spending trillions of dollars doesn't do it. Think about that for a little bit, guys.
From China.
If you look at like historical figures that's been silenced, the people that talk about climate change.
It is.
The people that talk about climate change have been silenced, very similar to the doctors and the folks that said, hey, this COVID, this had to come. The doctors said that this China flu had to come from a lab in China. Oh, banned on X, banned on this, banned on that. We can't allow this. We're not going to allow this. Hey, you know what? Ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine seems to work. Nope, cancel that. That doesn't support big pharma. And then when it all came out, proved masks didn't do anything, social distance didn't do anything. Everything that your federal government and your state government ordered did nothing to slow any spread of anything. And the one thing they could have told you to do is lose weight and exercise to help you out. They didn't do. They did the opposite. And so hopefully that whole climate scam, because that's what it is, I'm hoping that gets exposed in this administration, because it really needs to be exposed. Check this out. Attorney General Pam Bondi, we're going to listen to her really quick. But Jasmine Crockett has said some interesting thing. She was on that Tesla takedown call. Where she threatened violence, and it just seems to be on a roller coaster. Listen to what Pam Bondi says here.
Yeah, Sean, it is. And after she said that about Elon, she said, well, I didn't mean violence, but your words have consequences. And what happened after she said that about Elon Musk, she's a Texan in her own home state. After she said that, this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas. So she needs to unequivocally denounce the violence. She must apologize immediately, not only to all Texans, but to our country, to the American shareholders of Tesla, because she is promoting violence. And then you showed the clip of what she said about Senator Cruz. I believe she probably will be censured by Congress for saying that. People don't learn. She's using her public persona, her public platform to increase her followers, to increase her significance, and she is threatening lives, safety. When she did this at Tesla, Sean, people's lives are in danger. This is America. We're in a free country, and she's yet encouraging this violence in our country. Think of all the lives that could have been jeopardized in Texas just today by her words and what she's done. But she didn't stop with that. She continued on with Senator Cruz. She has to apologize immediately and denounce the violence.
Now, we know that no Democrats will denounce violence. It just doesn't happen. And we actually seen her take it up a notch where she assaulted a reporter today. We covered that in the first show. We're going to talk about it again because there's actually more to the story now. But this is another thing. I think it was last night, and she's getting a lot of flack for this. She won't get flack for
because
me.
we in these
Listen, she's talking about Greg Abbott here.
because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So
you know, if you were to show our founders this picture and say, this is what your constitutional republic has turned into, I don't know what they would do. I don't know what they would do. And of course, that's the Human Rights Campaign. That is one of the most wokest places in the world. We've covered that. So a lot of people are upset that she's making, and I could care less about this comment, that she's making fun of a disabled man. This is the route that conservatives took today, because a lot of times, instead of, just like the Democrats do, instead of focusing on policy, we're like, we got one, and we just keep going at it. But again, we know what she meant by that he's in a wheelchair. Good for her. But look at what she tried to say. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the plane. Listen to this. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tensions and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said that he was a hot ass mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disability, are now outraged. This woman, man. That woman. So earlier today, we showed you this video here. Let me pull this up. This was her today walking near work, and there was a reporter wanted to ask her questions about her calls to violence.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds.
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
Clarify your comments, lady.
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
So again, and we showed you this, and I'm just going to play it again and show you right here. She looks right at him. He is no threat to her. Look at, there's the look. She sees the camera. And let's get Hood, folks. Let's get Hood. And he's not in the way. He's actually on the side of her. And she goes to grab. Look at. Well, he has filed a police report. Let's see what his comment was right here. It was Charles R. Downs. And he posted this and said, I just left Capitol Police Headquarters in D.C., where I filed a police report against Congressman Jasmine Crockett for assault, battery, and attempted theft of my cell phone, simply because I respectfully asked her to condemn the violence she has been inciting at Tesla showrooms. Again, remember when, again, I don't know why Democrats pick, again, they pick victims. That's who they vote for. Democrats don't want a strong black leader that's going to stand up for America. No, they want Jamal Bowman, who goes and pulls a fire alarm and then lies about it. They want the fentanyl Floyds. That's who they want statues of. They don't like the Ben Carsons. They hate the Ben Carsons. You know, the brain surgeon? They don't want those. They can think for themselves, and they do. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me put this up here. Check this out. Let's see if it pops up this time. Where are we at? We'll give it a minute to pop up. This thing, and I apologize about the studio, Rommel Studio, just not interacting with us very well today. I know they're working on some stuff. Let's see. So it should pop up here in a minute, and then we will do a readout for 5G, and then we will get on with the rest of our show. Yeah, I mean, between Rumble Studio and our computer dealing with on the verge of, I don't know what it's on the verge are. But before we go into that, check this out. He had it right. That is correct. You can't get more correct than Trump in that one. Didn't even need an executive order for that one. Okay, let's check this out. I want to talk about the one thing that people are afraid to say out loud. Who's in control of America's nukes? It's not Biden. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. The world is at its most unstable point since World War II. And with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher. How do people like you and I stay safe? Every prepper needs to have RadioGuard Ace, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds had it until now. That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has a supply of RadioGuard Ace and the ability to prescribe it prophylactically. Get their radiation emergency kit with RadioGuard Ace, potassium iodide, Zofran, and Geiger counter. There's simply no other tools in the arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat. Go to 5gfree.com, code STUDIO to save 15% and get your radiation kit now. Again, guys, that's 5gfree.com. Use code STUDIO and save 15% on your order, guys. All right, where are we heading next? It's going to take a minute for that to come down, but while that happens, we're going to be, check this out, Cooper Joe Frederick. How many remember, I think it was 25th, maybe a week ago, we reported this guy, 24, out of Fort Collins, Colorado, was arrested in connection with an incident at a Tesla dealership in Loveland, Colorado. He was charged with multiple felony charges, including use of an explosive or incendiary device during a felony. It was a class 2 felony. Possession of explosives or incendiary devices, a class 5 felony. Second degree arson, class 5 felony. Criminal mischief, class 5 felony. And criminal attempt to commit a class 5 or class 6 felony. It says judge wanted a $250,000 bail. DA insisted on $20,000 cash bail. It says like Frederick doesn't have the dough, so he sits in jail. And again, this possibly, this is what, I don't know if this is his, yeah, this is the sheriff's office mugshot. Man, 24 years old. 24 years old. Let me show you some other pictures of him. And we're just going to dig into this because I don't understand it. Now, he does kind of look a little bit soy. That's okay. You can do what you want. Here he is enjoying a cigar out by the pool. Now, this isn't after the multiple felony charges. Probably not sitting that comfortable. And this is him with some frothy drink. Looks like he's outside of a ski resort somewhere. You look in the background right there, you can see the window reflecting the snow. Now, let me ask you a question. Did they think, first of all, they wouldn't get caught? Secondly, or did they think, you know what, people have been doing this for years. Nobody does any jail time. It's always a slap on the wrist. They're just going to release me. I'm a white liberal. Because I'm thinking if this was his life and enjoying ski resorts, probably I'm sure that drink was like a $7, $8 drink, whatever it is, a cider or something. But I don't have thoughts of wanting to break the law like these people. We joke about it with friends. Like we were talking about it under Biden, that things were getting so rough. Are we going to be the criminals? Like, are we going to have to steal just to feed our family? Like, not go out and steal Nikes, like AOC likes to support, but like literally go into a store and grab some beans and rice and run out just so your family could eat. I just don't understand. And again, I know I have all my friends say these people don't think, that's their problem. They work off emotion. They do. And to think that their emotion overshadows everything in their life. This person right here is sitting in jail and could get up to 20 years in prison. I just think it's, this was from the ATF Denver from March 14th. And this was the new news release. On Thursday, March 13th, the Loveland Police Department arrested 24-year-old Cooper Joe Frederick, a Fort Collins resident. The arrested was based on probable cause obtained through a continued investigation concerning repeated criminal acts to the Loveland Tesla. And now some people, and I don't have confirmation of that, but I understand his parents are conservative. Doesn't mean because you're conservative doesn't mean you raise conservative kids. They get out into the indoctrination world. They're young. They're stupid. A lot of people, again, I guarantee there's decisions, and when I say young, I mean even at 30 years old, that I made that were probably life-changing in some effect, that I would make totally different today. Do I regret them? Nah, life is life. But what I am saying is you have these parents that are conservative. They understand things. Your son went to public school. Your daughter went to public school. Then they probably went to an indoctrination college. And it's going to take some time for them to get that cancer out. It's either going to develop into terminal cancer, which is what this person had, which we see all these people outside the Tesla showrooms, all the people that we see keying the Teslas. That's terminal. That's terminal TDS, folks. And I just find it just incredible. There was some interesting news. This was posted by Nick Sortor. It says CDC under RFK Jr. just canceled $11 billion in COVID funding for state health departments. Why was there $11 billion in COVID funding for state health departments? And he says the COVID-19 pandemic is over and HSS will no longer waste billions of taxpayer dollars responding to a non-existent pandemic that Americans have moved on from years ago. That was from a CDC spokesperson. So again, some of the things we voted for, some of the things that we want to see, we are excited to see this. This is great news. Check this out. Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. Today, I took action as part of my ongoing investigation into a real estate development tied to East Plano Islamic Center. Under my watch, there will be zero tolerance for any person or entity that breaks Texas law. And this is Attorney General Ken Paxton's issue CID as part of an ongoing investigation into a real estate development. And it says Attorney General Ken Paxton issued a civil investigative demand to Community Capital Partners as part of an ongoing investigation into the CCP's real estate development. Epic City. The development near Josephine, Texas, is affiliated with the East Plano Islamic Center. CCP is a corporate entity that was established by Epic. Additionally, promotional materials advertised by Epic have explicitly stated that not only was CCP created by Epic, but that Epic is the only beneficiary of the profits. So let me put this. I think I had another one up here just to go. I think there was, let me back this up. So this is being looked at as possibly an Islamic compound, if you will. They want to ensure that it's not an Islamic compound and that they're not, a lot of times we see this. We see this in different areas. And if you travel the country, I don't see it in my area so much, but as we've traveled the country, they have literal spots. What's the one? Minneapolis was pretty bad when I went up there. But they have ones that literally, they don't abide by U.S. Constitution. They worship Sharia law. They push that. They kind of run their own things, and it's just horrible. And so hopefully this will get something done. This will be interesting. It was a 402-acre Islamic-based community. It's called the Epic Community. I think this might be it.
Half an hour from downtown Dallas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, I'm sure many of you have heard of the amazing project that we're doing known as Epic Cities. We are, alhamdulillah, constructing an entire city half an hour from downtown Dallas, literally 30 minutes from our own Plano Masjid over here. It's going to be a city of over 1,000 people. Alhamdulillah, we launched this website last year and we sold the entire phase 1 within days. Because of the demand, we are now opening up Epic Ranches. Epic Ranches is an exclusive opportunity for those who want to be within minutes of Epic City, but also want larger plots. We have 2 Epic Ranches. Epic Ranches 1 begins with 1 acreage and goes up to 5 acreage. And Epic Ranches 2 has plots of half acre and also investment opportunities for those who want to build condominiums. Brothers and sisters, this is a limited time opportunity. It is an amazing time to invest for the future, not only in yourselves, but of your children after you. We are inshallah ta'ala going to change the entire da'wah scene by demonstrating to the world what it means to be a Muslim living in the West. To talk about the financial details, let me bring in our brother Imran Chaudhry. Many of you know him as the president of Epic. He's also in charge of Epic City, and he will be the liaison for Epic Ranches as well. Brother Imran, bismillah, come on in. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum. Dear brothers and sisters, for a very limited time, if you pay full, you get a 10% discount. And also, for your convenience, you can book a lot with $30,000 earnest money, and you can pay the remaining balance by June 15th. That gives you almost 4 months to pay your down payment or pay the full amount. And if you pay the full amount, you still get 10% discount. This is a very, very limited offer. For more details, go to www.theepicranches.com or call me 469-766-4395 or email us ask@theepicranches.com. Thank you so much.
I would not want to be in that neighborhood. That's for damn sure. I just hate this. So we talked about earlier, and we were going to get into more details on it. But again, when I was setting up the show, I didn't think we were going to have time. But we talked about some positive moves with some of the judges and that were actually ruling in Trump's favor. But then we had another one while I was prepping for the show. A federal judge has just ruled against Kari Lake and the Trump administration, forcing them to continue funding the fake news media propaganda radio stations in Europe. Why is our tax dollars going to fund radio stations once again in Europe? All these things. I could care less if Europe has a radio signal. I want to put this up here. It says Congress has found that if is the policy of the United States to promote the right of freedom of opinion and expression, and that open communication of information and ideas among the peoples of the world contribute to international peace and stability. International Broadcasting Act of 1973, 87, blah, 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 has for decades operated as one of the organizations that Congress has statutorily designated to carry out this policy. The leadership of USAGM cannot, with one sentence of reasoning offering virtually no explanation, force RFE-RL to shut down, even if the president has told them to do so. I'm telling you, these activist judges, man, are just beyond insane. Beyond insane. Check this out. So, nomination of Michael Kratsios of South Carolina to be the Director of Office for Science and Technology. passed with 74 to 25 today. So that's one more person that got their nomination confirmed. We also got this. Another executive order.
We have an executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott, and so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We could let somebody else, whoever's next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago.
So another executive order signed today to modernize the payment system in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. You would think about this. I mean, there is small businesses. When I say small, 20 to 30 people businesses that have far greater technology than our own Treasury Department. It's embarrassing. And oh man, we are fixing that. Hold on. I just killed one. We'll figure out. Wow, we might have to skip that one. Also, POTUS signs an executive order on election integrity that includes the following provisions. Requires documentary government-issued proof of U.S. citizen on its voter registration forms, conditions federal elections-related funds on states complying with the integrity measures set forth by federal law, directs the updating of the voluntary voting system guidelines 2.0 and security standards for voting equipment, which includes requiring a voter verifiable paper ballot record and not using ballots in which the counted vote is contained within a barcode or QR code. Directs the Attorney General to enter into information sharing agreements with the state election officials to identify cases of election fraud or other election law violations. Takes the appropriate actions against the state that count ballots received after Election Day and federal elections. Revokes Biden's Executive Order 14019, which turned federal agencies into Democrat voter turnout centers. Take a listen.
We will be taking in the coming week.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order for your attention on the very important subject of election integrity. We believe that this executive order is the farthest reaching executive action taken in the history of the Republic to secure our elections. Among numerous other aspects of this executive order, this is going to cut down on illegal immigrants on the voter rolls, ensure that the Department of Homeland Security and the data that they have available is being fully weaponized to ensure that illegal immigrants aren't voting. This will include a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance with federal law around election integrity. I could go on and on for a while, sir, but compliance with National Election Day rules, cracking down and investigating and prosecuting foreign interference in our elections, revoking President Biden's Executive Order 14019, which essentially weaponized government to corrupt and pollute our election process. There's a lot in here, but we believe that these are very important steps that we need to be taking as an administration at your direction to ensure that our elections are as secure as they possibly can be.
Okay, you all understand that? Yes. Election fraud, you've heard the term. We'll end it, hopefully. At least this will go a long way toward ending it. There are other steps that we will be taking in the coming weeks. And we think we'll be able to end up getting fair elections. Perhaps some people think I shouldn't be complaining because we won in a landslide, but we got to straighten out our election. This country is so sick because of the election, the fake elections and the bad elections, and we're going to straighten it out one way or the other. And it's an honor to sign this one. To sign all of them, but to sign this one is a great honor.
That's pretty epic. You know, that was one of his big campaign promises, if you will. There was a lot of stuff going on. We've seen it. It took months to count some of the votes here in the state of California. Another thing that Gavin Newsom has shifted on now. Before, it's just normal to take weeks and weeks to figure out who won. But I think it was Charlie Kirk episode, or maybe it was the Steve Bannon episode, where he said, "No, I agree. We need to figure that out." It's not hard. Many states do it. Florida, a lot of other states that have secure elections. But when you want illegals to vote and you got to figure out how many votes you need, it takes time. It takes time. And then listen to what he hints here.
And they want to shield criminals from being sent back, rights away from the citizens of this state and their city. And we're going to be ending sanctuary cities if we find it necessary to do in certain major areas. And we may just end the entire thing altogether because it's just a way of protecting criminals. And nobody else is benefited by that. And for some reason, Democrats want to keep and they want to shield criminals from being sent back to their countries or being sent to prison. And in the meantime, the crime rate has gone through the roof. Under Biden, it was through the roof. It's starting to come down, but we're taking a lot of people out of here. So we may be presenting you very shortly with a executive order ending sanctuary cities.
So he teases us with an executive order that might be coming down that ends sanctuary cities. That would be huge. Again, there will be fights. Democrats will say, no, we got to put illegal aliens first. We got to let the murderers, rapists, and criminals stay in our communities, be outside our schools, our daycare centers. Sorry, guys, that's just where we are, and that's just what the Democrat Party is these days. Let me hit this up really quick before we move on. Let's see how long this one takes to pop up. We'll hit this up while we do this. It says the bottom line is that the percentage of Americans who say we're on the right track is through the roof. That's not me. I haven't said that. Who has said that?
Out of power, only about 27 to 28%. Let's take a look at the percentage of the country who say that we're on the percentage when you compare it to some historical numbers. What are we talking about? According to Marist, 45% say that we're on the right track. That's the second highest that Marist has measured since 2009. How about NBC News? 44%. That's the highest since 2004. Wow. The bottom line is the percentage of Americans who say we're on the right track is through the roof. And if you were to compare it to when presidents have historically been reelected, of course, Trump is not constitutionally eligible to run for reelection, but I think it sort of puts it in perspective. 42% of the country says the country is on the right track when the incumbent party is reelected. And also keep in mind, back when Kamala Harris lost and the Democrats were turned out of power, only about 27 to 28.
Look at that. Highest NBC poll. It's the highest since 2004. 21 years, 44%. 27% said we were on the right track in November under Joe Biden.
8% of the country.
All right, check this out, guys. The sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden-Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we are just happy that you are here watching us here on Rumble. And again, guys, we appreciate Rumble. Without Rumble, we wouldn't be doing what we did when we were canceled by Facebook, when we were canceled by YouTube, all the others. I mean, I think we have a cancel list longer than anything you can imagine. And it's great that we were able, and we've been on Rumble for years, and we appreciate the free speech aspect of Rumble. Check this out. Scott Turner, the housing secretary, posted this, and we talked about it yesterday, that they were pulling off all the illegals, all the tax from Trump's executive order. Your tax dollars will not be used to house illegals. And he put this up today. There are 24,000 ineligible members in HUD housing. HUD funded housing is for American citizens, not ineligible or illegal aliens. So it's great that they're cleaning that up, and that we're seeing that get done. Let's see if there's anything else we had up here. I think there was. Let's see. Nope. Not on that one. Close that out. See if anything else while we were live popped up. See. Not too much on our side. We've covered all that. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya confirmed as director of the NIH, 54 to 46. That's good. Let's get it moving. I like these. It says another foreign national violating their student visa. Palestinian Ohio State University student Rota Radeya Hikmat Khalil, arrested 4 of 2024 at OSU's pro-terror encampment, charged with criminal trespass and failure to leave. Why was she allowed to stay and keep her visa? Good question. Get her out of the country. Let's see what else we have. "31 historic actions recently announced that EPA will end the green new scam while cutting trillions in regulatory costs for everyday Americans." Let's listen to get all these out. And this is good. This is more
revitalize our auto industry actions to fulfill President Trump's promise to unleash American energy, revitalize our auto industry, restore the rule of law, and give power back to the states. EPA will be reconsidering many suffocating rules that restrict nearly every sector of our economy and cost Americans trillions of dollars. Our actions include the Biden administration's deeply flawed Clean Power Plan 2.0, mercury and air toxic standards, Quad-O BC, particulate matter 2.5, light, medium, and heavy car and truck rules, NESHAPs, and the so-called social cost of carbon. To advance cooperative federalism, EPA will partner with states that were universally rejected by the last administration's Good Neighbor rule. Among many other actions, today's momentous day also includes the 2009 endangerment finding along with all actions that rely on it. I've been told the endangerment finding is considered the holy grail of the climate change religion. For me, the U.S. Constitution and the laws of this nation will be strictly interpreted and followed. No exceptions. Today, the Green New scam ends as the EPA does its part to usher in the golden age of American success. Our actions will lower the cost of living by making it more affordable to purchase a car, heat your home, and operate a business. Jobs will be created, especially in the U.S. auto industry, and our nation will become stronger for it. From the campaign trail to day one and beyond, President Trump has delivered on his promise to unleash energy dominance and lower the cost of living. We at EPA will do our part to power the great American comeback.
The great American comeback. We need that. We need that bad. With the mess that we've been put in, just crazy. And let's pull something up right here. What's my favorite app to do this? Just to show you guys really quick. It is, check this out. Okay, let's just look at this. See what the Tesla stock is. See how Tim Walsh is hurting the stock today. So 287.99. Check that out. If you go 5 days back, way down there. It's been coming up ever since. And check it out now. What's that? Up 22% between Wednesday, March 19th. And Tuesday, and I told you guys, I don't give advice, but I've seen this happen before with these boycotts and this big push that was affecting it. It doesn't mean it's going to stay up. It's probably going to rise a little bit more and then it'll come down. But again, just think about that for those investors, 25% almost in 5 days. Imagine putting $10,000 in stock and making 25% in 5 days. It's unheard of. But again, a lot of the things we see are reactionary when it comes to stocks. We always talk about that. I want to say thank you for all you guys tuning in. We appreciate you. We will see you tonight. We got church, so if anything pops off, it'll be after 8 p.m. my time that I'll go live. 11 o'clock Eastern, unless something big happens beforehand, then we'll just go live. But want to say thank you again. If you guys want to contribute, we appreciate your blessing. We are 100% viewer funded. Only way we continue, lights, camera, action, is all thanks to you, the viewers. You can donate at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. Or as always, head over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. There's a donate now button on there. There's also a Zelle link on there as well as the Venmo, Cash App, and GiveSendGo. You guys have a good evening, and we will see you very soon.